Alright, hey guys, Oasis Hole 9, par 5 here, and I have my rock driver here. I'm assuming this is all we're going to need power-wise in terms of to get up here. Now, what I'm going to recommend is you guys get a little aggressive with the way that you go about playing this and shooting this up into this narrow fairway, especially with an accurate club. You're going to see me play very close to, I'd say, 10 rings here, maybe just a little bit. Power, perfect ball. I am playing this quite aggressive, just so you guys know. I'm kind of doing this intentionally, trying to keep it on this right hand side. I was trying to hopefully shoot it up into that little neck a little bit, but I did just catch a little bit too much rough. It is going to be very, very challenging to get it up that neck into that little bottleneck that you see up there. It is going to be definitely tough drive, and kind of risk reward. I think getting up there gives you a very good chance to give yourself a very easy approach, but also with what I just did, it's not going to be terrible. I think there's going to be a good chance that if you hit that fairway, in most wind scenarios, we're going to be able to get up there. And let's just see how this runs out. I want to see how close, so you can see that it does start to get close to that back fairway. You're going to need to be a little bit cautious there. But of course, in terms of, my opponent has maybe just a slightly better angle, but we're even with being as drove as I was, it's going to be very similar. And I'm not sure what to do spin-wise with this being the first time I'm doing this. We're going to shoot for 4. You can see we got a nice downwind here, which means I'm going to go relatively max, and I'm going to get very aggressive with the way that I go about doing this. So you can see what I'm doing there with my land zone. And let's see. You can see I'm going relatively max with my power. You can see I'm getting very aggressive, and it looks like I am able, even with that crappy angle. Notice that I did go into landscape. So if you have Apple products, for instance, you might not be able to get the ball over, but you can see how useful the curl, the side spin factor is. So having this extra side spin, it does have its advantages. But I'm assuming where my opponent is, if she or he uses the that's a little unlucky with the bounce there. I'm not sure what to do. They have a relatively straight in the face wind. They can potentially make that, so I'm just going to hold this here. Let's tap this up in here real quick. Speed up a little bit. Try to get some more holes in. There is also a good chance that my opponent is going to be able to pitch this in, and we'll still get to a shootout. But it's going to be, definitely a hard shot, but at the same time, I'm assuming you can bounce it off the fairway. Not Spitfire. It's going to make things a little tough, but you can still do it. You just need to probably play left edge. You're kind of right in there, somewhere in there. It looks pretty good. That looks pretty good overall. Not sure you needed that backspin, but we'll see. One thing, you do want to avoid. Great ball. Let's see if it would have ran out. It looks tight, so you can see, especially up a hill, you don't really need backspin. That's one of the big reasons that I do use Spitfire over, say, Malibu, because that length to me is more important. You can see the ball naturally, it has backspin. The club naturally has backspin. Even with my opponent there only had 0.5 that he can use of a bar of backspin, and it can still barely rolls up the hill. So backspin really isn't that crucial on that club, especially on or around the green. So you just kind of need to put the guide in front of the hole, and it just kind of runs into the hole. And usually you know, more times than not, you're not going to have speed issues. So just something to keep in mind. And, you know, it's one of the biggest reasons that I do prefer Spitfire over, say, Malibu, because I don't need that ball guide. All I need to do is put that third hop right in front of the hole. And it just kind of naturally rolls into the hole with very little backspin. So just something to keep in mind. But catch you guys on the next one. And good luck out there.